Hey, congratulations on the win. This is Steve Wilson with Space Coast Daily. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Wins are so hard to come by in this conference. How in the world did you all beat Temple by 24 points?
Well, we had all week to prepare. We've been really locked in, trying to get better with our offense and really focusing on pressuring on defense because, you know, they are only lost in conference. So we had to really lock in and like follow the game plan.
Tell me about your own performance. You were dominant from the get-go. 22 points, tying a career high, 8 rebounds, but you were defensively, you were a force right from the get-go. Did you feel locked in or in a zone there from the beginning?
Yes, I was very locked in since the beginning of this week, since we had to, you know, I know that Temple was our only loss, and we wanted to secure second place. And, you know, I've been locked in since the beginning, and that's all I've been thinking about all week, getting a W.
What do you think the biggest difference is between that last game against Temple in early January and today's win?
Well, it was the beginning of our conference, beginning of, you know, the start of the conference. And I don't know, I just feel like we came out, we were ready. We were more intense than last game. We made better decisions on offense, and we really we played together and just picked it up.
Tay, prior to the game, did you talk a lot about number 25, Mia Davis, one of the top players in the conference, averaging 19 points a game? You only allowed her 8 points. Did you talk a lot about her in preparation?
Yes, we talked a lot about her all week. We just locked in and continued to follow the game plan and to not bail her and just to stay focused and locked in on defense.
What is it about Coach Abe's defensive scheme and system that you all thrive on? You've mentioned this before, that you love playing defense and you love the scheme and you all just thrive on it. You held Temple under 40 points today. It's the third time this season you've held the team under 40 points. What is it about Coach Abe's system and scheme that really helps you all thrive and enjoy the game?
Well, it's fun when we get stops because, like, we pressure the ball, like, we're active on defense, like, we're just moving, like, we're playing off each other. So it's like, that's what makes it fun. Like, when we get stops, we get steals, and like, we're playing together.
Tay, your teammate Diamond went down with an injury early in the game, kind of hobbled off the court. It didn't look good initially, but how exciting was it for you to see her come back and play?
It was very exciting. Like, we knew Dom was a tough player. Like, she came down hard, but we know she was going to get back up and continue to play the game because she's just a tough player. Like, she's tough. So we knew she was going to bounce back and continue the game.
Well, obviously, big week ahead. Your rivals coming up. It's going to be a huge game. What's it going to be like? You know what it's like to play them, but you're going to play them back-to-back at a home and home, which maybe it's a good thing because you just focus on them for the whole week?
Yeah, like, we're going to focus on them. I know, like, we only going to have, like, 2 days to prepare, but we're going to be fine. Like, we're going to lock in, just play our same rules and our same game. We're not changing anything up, just playing our game.
Hi.
Lish, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
I believe you had 8 assists today. You look like you were seeing the court extremely well. Did Temple do anything different this time than the last time you played them?
I don't think so. I think that we executed our offense very well, and that opened up a lot of things for my other teammates so I can create for them.
Tell me a little bit about your game. You've been on a roll recently there, shooting the ball well and then distributing the ball. You feel much more comfortable now as you keep playing each game with your teammates?
Yeah, as each game goes on, I feel like I get more comfortable. And then obviously in practice, we work on a lot of shots, offense, and also defense. So I think that helps me in each game.
Tell me about your shot. You have a beautiful shot there from the perimeter. And Coach Abe has talked about she encourages you to shoot the ball. What is that like when you make that decision when shooting as opposed to passing with your shot selection?
I think that my team really helps me and builds my confidence in practice. And then also my coaches believing in me. And then I feel like that helps my shot during the game and then consistently shooting.
Lish, so many of your teammates are playing so well right now. How exciting is it for you to know that you don't have to look for one particular player? You have 4 options that can make something happen.
It's amazing. I love playing with people that can create, and then all of us come together and win games.
Defensively, we're locked in again, held Temple under 40 points. What's it like playing on this with this team on defensively in the scheme when they're Coach Abe?
It's exciting. It's really exciting. We focus a lot on defense in practice, and I feel like once we really focus on it and commit to it, that we do really well.
You know, I go back to the first game of the year. You were cleared to play at the last minute, so to speak. What a crazy season it's been with COVID. How has your game improved from the beginning of this year to right now? I've seen it, but you tell me what you think.
I think learning the system, learning different things defensively and offensively, and then getting comfortable as games go on and building my confidence.
Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You know, we always talk about how challenging the conference games are. I did not see a 24-point game coming today. Maybe you did, but what in the world did you all do to allow you to win the game by 24 points?
Mia Davis, I mean, just stopped her. I mean, she's a phenomenal player, and, you know, her not getting her 20 points, getting her in foul trouble a little bit, you know, that really helped. I mean, and obviously Clinton, I think she only had like 4 points at halftime. So she kind of came alive a little bit in the second half, but I mean, they're go-to players. I mean, that's kind of what we concentrated on. I mean, I feel like Mia every year has really hurt us. I mean, she's always got her numbers. So, I mean, I think this is the first time in 4 years since I've, you know, played against her that we've held her in single digits. I mean, she's a very talented player.
Coach, these last few games we saw Alisha Lewis get it done with her scoring, but this game we saw her passing. So how much of an impact do you think her passing had, especially on the offense?
Oh, it has huge impact. I mean, obviously 8 assists is that's a lot, you know, and that means, you know, that's what she wants to do, to be honest. I mean, she's a pass first point guard, but I think now the other teams are like, oh my gosh, she's going to shoot on a 3 and she's going to make a 3 because she's been making them, right? So I think that now they're extending out on her, which is perfect. Now she can go by people. So, you know, it took a while for her. I kept telling her all the time, like, you got to shoot the ball. You got to shoot the ball. And like she said, two of her teammates gave her confidence to shoot the ball. I mean, and they wanted to shoot the ball. And now when people know that she's going to shoot the ball, now they got to play tight on her. They weren't playing tight on her. They were playing off. So then she couldn't get by anybody, right? But now they have to play tight, and now she can get by people. So she loves to pass. So it's kind of a great combination.
Coach, you were up 31-14 at halftime. You had held Temple to 16% shooting. What did you talk about at halftime?
You know, just to stay focused, you know, because they're a comeback team. They got some really good players on their team, and they could light it up. But we really talked about not letting them shoot threes. Don't let them shoot threes. Don't let them make threes. They got 14 of them off, but they made most of their. I think they made 1 in the first half and 3 in the second half. I mean, I just knew. So we had to change the game plan a little bit because there was a couple of them that we were playing off of, not on top of, you know, forcing them to drive. But I just said, now everybody's a 3-point shooter. Me is a 3-point shooter. You know, 1's a 3-point shooter. 2's a 3-point shooter. We just said, like, we're going to have to, you know, keep pressuring them and not let them come back by nailing threes.
This is the 3rd time this season you've held a team under 40 points. 8th time since you've arrived that one of your teams has held a team under 40 points, which is a remarkable number. Prior to your arrival, this program's only done it 6 times. What is it about your principles and your scheme on defensively? Tay talks about how she enjoys your scheme and that your players thrive off of that. Who influenced you on your philosophy? Where did it come from? Because it's very successful.
You know, it's funny because I've had so many really good Hall of Fame coaches teach me how to do things, really. And I think when I was at Missouri State, I did a 2-3 because we had a big, you know, center, and Tani was fast, could bump around. And then when I went to Albany is really when I changed it up a little bit because we had some forwards like Moss, like Desto, like Janaea, and like Britt that could move in the back. So you didn't, and then the guards don't have to bump around so much. But I think the reason is successful that it is that not a lot of people play the matchup, right? A lot of people all play man. And so for us, we don't have to worry about man plays, all the man plays, all the back screens, the down screens, the double downs. So are we switching? Are we hedging? Are we like, we don't have to worry about all that. Like it stays consistent. What you can't do so many things against our matchup. There's just not a lot you could do. And to be honest, it's very hard to simulate in practice for the other team to do our matchup. And it's an aggressive one. It's on ball pressure. It's not like, sit back in a zone and don't guard anybody. I mean, we force people to think, we force people, you could see we're extending out farther and farther, and pressuring the ball. So, I mean, it's just, I think it's because it's consistent. Lish never has to go down and guard somebody on a low block. And then she doesn't have to come off double downs, and she just stays right up there on top. Right. And it's a consistent thing for her. She doesn't have to think about all the rules that you have to with man and, all those things and moving. And Tay, she gets to play on that wing and she gets to pick off passes and she gets to time how she runs out there. That's what she likes about it. Right. And so, and Moss and Brittany doesn't have to guard an on-ball screen and figure out how she's not going to hedge or foul or, there's just a lot to man, so us keeping it consistent, I think, has been really good for us. And we pressed a little bit tonight, but if we can play half court defense, and I'm not going to run them around just to run them around.
Coach, early in the season, you won some games impressively. Obviously, today was very impressive. Are you a much better team right now than you were at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a week of practice too. So, having our shutdown for those 16 days, that kind of put us behind, so this week we had that bye week. We tried to get another game in, but everybody else had games already scheduled. And it was our bye week because of SMU was out. And so we tried to get another game within Wednesday, but everybody else already had games. So that were already set in those slots. So we just really used the week to practice and work on what we needed to work on. We worked on a lot of offense. We worked on a lot of shooting. We worked on a lot of half-court defense and rules, and we worked on really boxing out. Williamson is a phenomenal offensive rebounder, and they still got 13 offensive rebounds against us. So, we got to continue to do that. But I think this week really helped us just get better as a whole. And you see everybody got in, everybody got to play, everybody, looked like they had good energy today. So I think this week of practice really helped us out.
Obviously, big week ahead. Obviously, with the rivals coming in, a great matchup. Everybody's going to be talking about it on the league and across the sport. Yep. Is it a benefit that you just have to focus on them playing a home and home in the same week? Is it give me the pros and cons of that, because it's so unique. You're used to playing them maybe in the middle of the year and then in the end of the year, but now you get them in this 1 week.
Yeah, I think it's a pro all the way, to be honest. And we only have to drive down the street. Right now they have to still play Houston, and they're at Houston right now. So I think it's good. Now we can concentrate on only them. They're not going to change the way they play. They're not going to miraculously play zone defense. They're just not. They're going to play all man. He's going to do his system. We're going to do our system. And so, it's just going to be kind of survival of the fittest. They got 2 really good post players. They got a really good point guard. They got phenomenal wings. So, it's a really good matchup, but it's completely different teams, right? We play completely different, which I think for Jose, he's a good friend of mine. He likes it. He wants that challenge. He wants something new for his team. We're going to press. We're going to play our matchup. They're not going to press. They're going to sit back in their man. They're going to shoot threes. They're going to do, I know exactly what they're going to do. Now it's just which team is ready and prepared to go. And honestly, who hasn't been out as long and who's been in practice longer a little bit, because they were out the exact same amount of time as us, so hopefully, for him, he's thinking the same way as I am. Like, he got some good practice time and some good games in before we play each other.
Coach, I haven't had a chance to talk with you in a couple of weeks. I don't have a question for you, but I want to congratulate you belatedly on winning your 100th game as a Knight. I believe it was against Tulane about a week and a half ago, but congratulations.
Thank you. Everybody's like, you got your 100 wins. I'm like, I think it's like 490, but it's at UCF. That's big, but I think it's, and I told my coaches after that Tulane win. It's not me. I mean, you guys won 100 too, by the way. It's not just me. It's like, I don't do it all. I don't do it all. And I told the players, like, Moss has probably got 85 of those wins. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. You see what I'm saying? Like, Moss has got a bunch and Diamond's got a bunch, and, you know, all the players, they're the ones that do it. I just kind of lead everybody and, you know, kind of put in the system. And, you know, I get that credit, but thank you, Steve.